panel. Thank you for sticking around and joining us. Global enterprises are going digital faster than ever. Digital technology is gradually being applied to the core of production business. While this streamlined production to an incredible extent, it also entails more severe threats to cybersecurity. According to IDC, almost 2/3 of global organizations once experienced ransomware attacks that blocked access to systems or data, and 43% of companies even paid the ransom. In 2022 alone, business was disrupted for more than 5 days on average if a ransomware attack was successful. No organization in the world can completely isolate ransomware. Well-established organizations are just getting more adept at protecting their systems through detection, mitigation, response, and recovery measures. Therefore, it is imperative to improve system resilience and develop a multi-layered data protection solution that supports network storage collaboration. To talk more specifically about this, specifically test results of Huawei MRP solution, it's my pleasure and honor to introduce the founder of Tolly Group. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Mr. Kevin Tolly.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for joining us today. We get to the first slide, please. So I'm Kevin Tolly. I'm founder of the Tolly Group. For those of you who don't know us, we are a US-based provider of third-party independent IT validation services. Today, I'm here to discuss, as we just heard, the results of a very interesting, groundbreaking test that we just conducted for Huawei of their multi-layer ransomware protection solution. So I'll be summarizing the contents of a 30-page report that has a lot of information, a lot of testing, so I hope you'll bear with me as I refer to my notes to give you that information today. So next slide, please. So this slide reaffirms what we already know. Ransomware is a problem, and I think we heard a little bit in the introduction of how big a problem it is. The attacks are relentless, they're nonstop, and they're apparently quite effective because 46% of the victim organizations are paying ransoms. And they're not just small ransoms either. If we look at some of the numbers that we've heard already, we're looking at recovery costs of almost $2 million US and median ransom payments of $400,000. So this is certainly a significant problem, and it's a problem that can't be solved in one place. It's a multifaceted problem that requires a multi-layered solution, which is what Huawei provides and what we'll talk about. Next slide, please. So this slide takes a look at the traditional methods we have today. These are the methods that fail. And we look at this, we see a couple of things. We see these attacks are multi-phase. We have intrusion taking place at the network border, through the firewall, through the IPS. We see it getting into the intranet, and we have smart software that looks around trying to find where the places are where they can get in. It gets into your environment. Phase 3, the data is encrypted, and now you're in big, big trouble because now you cannot get at your own data. And that's where the ransomware issue starts. The ransomware self-destructs, and now you have a business that really isn't working, and you need to do something about it. And what we've done here, what we've seen here, what we've tested with Huawei is a very effective solution to that problem. Next slide, please. There's a lot going on here, and I'll tell you a couple of times, I can only give you some highlights here. We try to keep our reports very concise, and it still took 30 pages to go through all the testing at all the different layers. So I'll summarize that for you here in a few minutes, but I highly recommend that you get to the report. It's available from the Tolly Group, it's available from Huawei, and I'll have information about it as we get further in here. So we tested MRP, multi-layer ransomware protection. It's the first network to storage, right? Not just network, not just storage, network to storage, and here's the key word for my whole presentation, collaborative. It's a collaboration between the intelligence in the network at different points and a collaboration between intelligence in the storage component of the environment, and that's key. That's what makes it all work, and you'll see as I go through the test, that's what we tested. So a couple of points here. This is the first time that we've ever seen this type of collaboration in enterprise data center network type products, and we've tested a lot of products for 3 decades. So let me tell you a little bit about this. The Huawei HiSec Insight Security Situation Awareness System works with the HiSec Engine firewall to defend against attacks with IPS at the network border and prevent their spreading to the intranet. So the problems we saw in the prior slide can get resolved, many of them right at the network border. And then in the production zone, the Huawei Data Management Engine works with Huawei's ocean storage systems to monitor the encryption behavior on the storage systems and protect data using different methods in different levels of threats. So that's important as well. There's not just one type of threat. There's different threats. There's different severities. We need to take or want to take different actions depending on how severe the threat is. So we looked at it in many different ways, and we verified, as you can see on the right here, accurate detection, comprehensive protection, and rapid recovery. Next slide, please. So the collaboration between the network and the storage subsystems is what enables Huawei MRP solution to cope with ransomware attacks. Very important. And to cope with them in a timely manner. They must be dealt with immediately before the ransomware can get in place and encrypt your storage, and you have big problems. So on the one hand, the network can synchronize the virus information that it detects on its own to the storage environment. So collaboration, finding information out in the firewall, in the IPS, and notifying the storage detection of what was found so that the proper action can be taken. On the other hand, the network can drive the storage to perform different response operations based on the risk level. High risk, medium risk, and low risk events need to have different responses. What's very interesting here that we've never seen before is air gap, the air gap fusing, which can completely cut off the storage so that you have a guaranteed backup that cannot be touched even by a ransomware attack that makes its way through. So you have that guaranteed backup so that you can have guaranteed recovery. When this takes place when there's high risk. When there's medium risk, then you can have secure snapshots taking place at the appropriate timing. And low risk, you can have secure snapshots as well, but again, with the timing being appropriate to the risk level. So the collaboration between the network and the storage is what makes this work, and that's a first. We've never seen that before. Next slide, please. So when I give presentations, this is what we call the eye chart. It's very difficult to read. It's almost impossible to read. So these next few slides are taken directly from our report. This report is very new. It was only released a few days ago. This is its official launch today, but it is available now from Tolly.com. It's available through your Huawei team as well. The report number is 224103. You can look it up right now. You can download all of this. Very comprehensive test. So we covered 4 aspects of ransomware protection, including virus detection, virus blocking, system protection, and system recovery. We used 21 typical test scenarios, and it's the most comprehensive and most strict test that Tolly has ever conducted so far on ransomware protection. The results you can see in the report, you'll see a summary here, show that Huawei's capabilities in its MRP solution are industry leading. The first item tested was collaborative detection. Again, collaboration. We used 124 real malware and ransomware samples that we collected off of the internet. And by leveraging Huawei's collaborative detecting capabilities, such as the network detection and the storage I/O change detection, all samples in the simulated attacks were detected. So in this case, MRP demonstrated a detection rate of 100%. Next slide, please. Collaboration again. Now we're looking at collaborative blocking. There's a lot to see here. Again, not so easy to see on a single screen, but it gives you an idea. So this second test case was collaborative blocking. The Huawei MRP solution synchronizes the perceived threat information by the network, such as file name, virus file name, signature, and gets that information over to the storage threat reputation database. The storage subsystem then can block the creation of files with the corresponding file name extension based on the protection policy. Here too, all of the test cases passed successfully. Next slide, please. Collaborative protection. Again, more pages from our report. It is important that the response level, as I said earlier, matches the threat level. If there's low-level threats, we don't want to ignore them, but we have to have the appropriate response. So our third test was collaborative protection. So based on the ransomware threat level, low, medium, and high, the network can notify the storage to take protective measures, such as ones I've mentioned already, secure snapshot acceleration, and air gap blocking. Different response for different level. Again, these tests all passed successfully, 100%. Next slide, please. So service recovery. So in our test, we simulated what would happen if something did get through. Maybe there's new zero-day attacks. There's new viruses that haven't been seen. Multi-layer. So we just don't rely on a single layer. We have multi-layers to get through. So what happens? Can we make sure that should something we don't know about get through, can we recover? So this is what this test looked at. So can I be sure that my data is not tampered with and that I can recover to production status? That's really the key question in all of this. So it made sense then that the fourth item we tested was service recovery. So we verified that the secure snapshot, remember I talked about different snapshots that can take place at different threat levels, we verified that the secure snapshot in the production zone could not be deleted within the protection period so that we could restore everything to the normal state. At the same time, we noted that Huawei's innovative air gap technology ensures that the copy, another copy in the isolation zone is not tampered with at all. So we have this, all of this for quick service recovery. This test, again, was 100% successful. Next slide, please. Humor. You got one more? There we go, okay. So again, the slides that we just saw are from our report, Tolly Report 224103. What it all leads up to is what Huawei's goal is, which is to support the National Institute of Standards, the US NIST security framework. If you look at it here, if you're not familiar with it, it's good to get familiar with this. Identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover, or IPDRR. So to learn more about this, please read our full 30-plus page Tolly report that you can get from our site, www.tolly.com, and also from Huawei. So I'd like to thank you all for being here. I'd like to thank the Huawei team. And also, I think now, are we going to do the certificate? I'd like to ask them to come up because we have a certificate for them. Thank you.
Well done. What an extensive report. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I would like to have you just move here so we can bring on something very special on the stage to commemorate this.
Put this here.
And wow, I think everyone's going to want to talk to you.
Okay,
I think every business should probably wants to talk to you.
Yes.
Because it's important to be protected. Well, in fact, we have three people we'd like to invite onto stage
Okay.
to share this moment with you. Director of the Huawei Data Storage Marketing Execution Department, Mr. Michael Fan. Yes, everyone give a big round of applause for these wonderful people. Director of the Data Center Solution Department, Mr. Wang Shu. Another round of applause. Director of Huawei ICT Portfolio Solution Marketing Operation Department, Mr. Liu Shuqing. I would like to ask all of you to please come here and stand behind this wonderful symbol of accelerated industrial intelligence
Okay.
while we take a photo. But what we're going to do as well is everyone is going to participate in this. We would kindly ask you to count with us at 3, 2, 1 to make it official. I think we're doing the countdown, yes? We have the certificate. We don't need a countdown. I'm going to be quiet. I think your mic is, would you like to say something?
Okay. I would like to present this certificate to acknowledge the launching of our Tolly Huawei report for the multi-layer ransomware protection solution. There we go.
And gentlemen, we would also like to celebrate with a glass of champagne.
So there we go. Oh, thank you. Okay, cheers. Thank
And
you.
feel
Thank
free
you.
to also smile for the cameras at this moment as we capture every single moment of this celebration.
Okay, here's it.
Congratulations.
Okay, thank you.
And we wish you continued success. Well done.